Hey, friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw News Beef. Earlier today, more WWE releases started to trickle through the grapevine, if you will, the wrestling news grapevine. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're going to talk a little bit about WWE, now former writer, never really got started, Kenice Mobley, who this past week appeared on a podcast where she sort of said, yeah, I don't really know much about WWE product. And then she was released. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and a couple other things. Larson, where do you want to start here with all this?
Well, we'll start with these releases. So Andrew Zarian, after the last round of releases, said there could be more. And then John Alba reported this morning that there could be more today. And then that sadly proved to be the case. WWE has apparently released several more talents. And they are Tony Nese, Aria Daivari, Everrise, August Gray, Fandango, and Tyler Breeze. It's just... Let's get to the next bit of news because it'll clarify something. Because, like, you see Everrise on this list, and they're actively involved in NXT to a pretty significant, point. But Sean Ross Sapp tweeted some details, saying, "quote We were told that Nick Khan specifically is willing to take the heat. Did not seem concerned about prior plans, projects, who the person was or was married to, how long they've been signed, or what they have going on." Like I said, Everrise was pretty darn surprising. They're on TV a lot. They're in a thing with Hit Row right now. I know they pretty much got squashed in their match this past week, but it's still a storyline. They have their show they've been doing on the pre-show for takeovers. Fandango and Tyler Breeze have been really active in the NXT tag division. I don't really watch 205 anymore. Obviously, Tony Nese and Aria Daivari are cornerstones of that brand. They've been there from the very beginning. And August Gray, I don't know if he's even been in the company for a year. Didn't seem like it was that long ago he signed. I mean, from a savings perspective, if this is all about saving money, like, I can't imagine August Gray is making a ton of money. Same with Everrise. I don't know. It's kind of a head scratcher.
The one that surprised me most was actually August Gray, because he's been with the company for such a small period of time. I know obviously he, like tonight, for example, he even tweeted out, he's got a match with, I forget the kid's name. He just debuted last week.
Daivari has a match on 205 tonight too.
And August Gray tweeted out, hey, this is now suddenly a loser leaves town match, which is, it shows you, number one, that he knows he has tremendous upside and he'll land on his feet, and he's taken this, with a good mental attitude, as good as you can take it. It is surprising though, because I just figured a guy like that would have, they'd actually give him a chance, I guess is my point.
Yeah.
Breezango, they've been there for a very long time. I think that Fandango specifically, they missed the ball on completely. By saddling him with that dancer gimmick back when they did. That was just something they would do back then. I think that if he was 10 years younger, just coming to the WWE now, it'd be a different story. But it is what it is. They never really rebranded him. I thought that Breezango in general would get more of a rebrand in NXT, and that never happened.
Yeah, it never happened.
I'm not shocked by that. I'm not shocked by Everrise. I understand they've been on TV a lot, but it hasn't been in a substantial way. They have basically been given time to get themselves over, which is great, and they have. Everrise is fantastic. But they'll do fine out there. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know what this means for 205. I mean, I know the idea is they want to build the cruiser division, but I wonder if that means they're going to take existing names like they have with the Diamond Mine with Roderick Strong, and higher profile names like Kushida, the current champion. It wouldn't shock me if Kyle O'Reilly fell to the cruiserweight division once he was done with whatever he's going to do in the main title scene, because I just don't see him doing much there, and I don't see him doing much in the North American title scene. I just don't. his character, I don't think is going to connect if they keep up with this cool Kyle stuff. So I think they want the cruiserweight division to be a bigger name thing.
I think so, and I wonder if they're going to try to focus on doing that on NXT Prime rather than 205. Like, I don't know, like, is 205 going to be around?
With who? Because I thought the same thing. You get rid of the like you said, the two cornerstones. I think they even called themselves like OG. I haven't watched 205 in years, which is weird to think because it feels like just yesterday that they actually started airing the show, and we were covering it on a weekly basis. So yeah, I think that this is just going to be the kind of thing that, unfortunately, kind of like in the world of professional sports, they're going to give people a shot, and if they don't find themselves creatively able to use these individuals. Was there another one now?
Yeah. Singh Brothers, Bollywood Boys.
Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, 205 is done. Like, who are they going to put on 205? Because that's not a place you put Kushida. It's not a place you put Diamond Mine or I know he's not really in the cruiserweight division necessarily, but Santos Escobar. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I think that this is just going to be the kind of thing that we get on a more regular basis. With maybe, because here's the thing, everybody that we're talking about really for the most part has been just sort of high profile enhancement talent. And I don't say that with any negative connotations at all. Somebody's got, there are talent that exists in the industry that are used to enhance talent that they're doing something with. And maybe if they're given opportunities as enhancement talent and they don't break through a certain ceiling, in terms of popularity or being able to be used properly by creative or at all by creative. That's why we haven't seen the 24/7 division. Mm-mm. I don't think that's going to be, besides maybe they'll pivot that to like a celebrity thing, which it's half of that is celebrity stuff anyways. They do the R-Truth show up on TV and a celebrity host would like roll them up, or Sports Center host would roll them up or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it feels like we're just going to get this on a more regular basis.
It's entirely possible.
It's like this Nick Khan fellow they brought in, who evidently doesn't give a damn about the human element involved, which is very 2021 business, unfortunately. It's just like, hey, if you have nothing for these people, then get rid of them. And that's a bummer situation for business in general. That's corporate business these days. And that's just how it is. It's an absolute bummer.
It is.
So we're gonna, as we go along with news beef today, this is obviously going to be a little bit of a beefier episode. Yeah. So
any more updates, we will definitely update as we see them.
Yeah.
Let's talk in other release news. Let's talk about this. So earlier this week, at the time, newly hired WWE writer Kenice Mobley was on the Asian Not Asian podcast and mentioned that WWE did not require her to have any real knowledge of pro wrestling prior to her hiring. This is what she said. These transcripts are courtesy of Post Wrestling. Quote, "Yes, I have just been hired by WWE, given the things that you know about me and my entire life and what I'm into. Yes, that's surprising. Yes, also a surprise for me. They did not require me to know anything about wrestling, but I do have a background in film production and comedy writing." And they're like, perfect. Come on in. So I'm on the Monday Night Raw team. So there's Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. The people I know are on it are Bobby. His name is either Bobby Ashley or Bobby Lashley, and I really should know that. So this quote got a lot of traction on social media. What seemingly got largely passed by in Post Wrestling Story is that she mentions this during the course of the interview, is that when this podcast dropped, this is June 6th, so almost 3 weeks ago, she had been hired, but hadn't actually started her writing job yet. And she said the very next day after recording that podcast, she was going to start researching.
Yeah. She said people are going to be coming over, going to start watching. She said she had watched, like, I think probably the previous episode of Raw. I listened to it this morning. And that tomorrow, the next day after recording the podcast, she would actually begin, the educational process, which
the deep dive, yes.
In the podcast she said, "I'm very excited to do this." This is, I'm of two minds of this. Number one, WWE has hired writers that have not much knowledge of the product. They've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
This is not new that they would do this.
Nope.
Many TV shows, movies, they bring on people. I remember, and I don't know why this sticks out to me. It's because I'm a nerd and I know that. But the director of Star Trek Nemesis was not into Star Trek. Came in to do the job, It's not an abnormal thing. Yeah, Larson,
I'll raise my hand here.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't really know anything about video games before working at Machinima.
I remember we did 2 episodes back to back. 10 for the early on. It was like some of our first 10 for the win episodes at Machinima in 2010, I think.
Yeah.
And it was top 10 reasons why Battlefield Bad Company 2, Battlefield 2 Bad Company, whatever it was better than Modern Warfare and vice versa. Modern Warfare 2 and vice versa. I didn't know half these terms. I was like, what is it when you like what's the term in Call of Duty when you like hide and just snipe at people?
Camp.
I didn't know what camping was.
I didn't know what that meant either.
I know now because I'm expert level Call of Duty.
Your KDR is great.
I'm prestige all the way up. Highest prestige.
I don't know about highest, but I know your KDR is much better than it used to be.
Machinima was a situation where I got into video games because I got into the job. But all Larson required when you said, hey, we're looking for something, I need a voiceover guy. It was for me to read. I was Ron Burgundy, right? Didn't know anything about the stuff I was talking about. And then, we got our own show. I was brought on to do producing stuff. We got our own show, and we would go on and on.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. We might have some more names here. I don't mean to interrupt this story.
I see here in chat Kurt Stallion.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to make sure that's been added to. Well, here, let's get through this, and then we'll do a recap.
So it's not abnormal for people to be hired without knowledge of what the hell they're doing. It happens all the time. On one hand, I feel like if WWE is going to do this and be okay with it privately, like this is a practice, why not just be cool with it and publicly be okay with it? On the other hand, according to Sean Ross Sapp, he says, for what it's worth, I'm told fan reaction to Kenice Mobley's podcast appearance had little to nothing to do with the decision for WWE to let her go. I was told it was more of an internal concern. What she was told, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll get the story from her. Maybe that's the end of quote.
Meltzer had something about this in the newsletter this week. Said, her quotes. She talks more about let's get to the second bit of a transcript from her interview because this is interesting. Later on in her interview, she talked about the process of accepting the job. This is what she had to say. Quote: I went on a date and this guy was like, "Don't you feel like he effectively said, don't you feel like you're diminishing your dignity writing for WWE?" And I was like, I'm getting paid to do the thing I've been working on for 8 years, and this is this is 3 times what I make it my nonprofit job. So yeah, I'm going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes all the sense. Makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah.
If she's a writer, she has an opportunity to write.
Yeah.
You take that job.
Yeah.
So Meltzer's quote here is, this turned into a fairly big thing, heavily talked about on social media, but also noted among those on the inside. Mobley was also under the gun for speaking publicly on subjects that WWE doesn't want stuff talked about. One person very close to the situation noted the negative reaction to this, and that said that she is not the only one in this situation. And actually, this is typical of many of the writers. I'd assume he means not being that familiar with the wrestling business. Meltzer continues, but where they were embarrassed by this is that by going public, it makes WWE to the outside world look, this he has in quotes, so I'm guessing this is what his source told him, blindingly stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So this isn't necessarily about anything that she said in a bubble. It's about how WWE thinks they're going to look based on what she said, even though what she's saying is their own policies towards hiring writers, and that they don't need to know the wrestling business.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I have no idea. Like, there's sort of 2 different things. Like, Meltzer's saying one thing, Sean Ross Sapp is saying another thing, and so we can kind of just put our hands on. I mean, she did, like, the title of the episode she was on of the Asian Not Asian podcast was called White Fragility. And so I imagine later on in the episode, I didn't listen to the whole thing, but I imagine later on in the episode, they talk about, one would assume, some politics of the day, and that could be the kind of thing, and you have to decide as a writer, okay, am I comfortable working for a company that doesn't want me talking about my views? Because if that's the case, then, that's just a decision you have to make as a person. Another decision you have to make as a person is whether or not you want to go on a podcast and talk about the job you just got hired to do. And I don't think that for what we heard on the podcast, WWE should have, if they found value in what she could bring to the product, that's silly to fire her for. Mm-hmm. At the same time, if you're a person who just got hired at a job and you want to have that job, I'm not sure it's the best idea to go on a podcast and do that and talk about it in that way. So yeah, you just sort of have to think about things before you hop into them, I guess is the point here. But I'll be honest with you, from what I've heard, just keep my ears open. She's probably better off for it because it seems like a nightmare. Like
the turnover that would be in the writers' room is apparently very high.
Yes.
And by all accounts, it sounds like a pretty miserable place to work.
So when I first heard about it, when I was reading this stuff this morning, I did it while we were waiting for Louis Dangoor to show up on Matt Chat. I recorded a quick video for Wrestle Juice, my side project, and I was just looking at Glassdoor reviews for WWE.
Wow.
It was fun stuff. So check that out. I don't know when I'm gonna put it out, probably tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Hopefully she finds some good work somewhere else. So yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, hope so. Let's talk about Becky Lynch. So we've heard that she has been seen training at the Performance Center. She was apparently backstage at Hell in a Cell. Of course, that is all fueling rumors that she's close to making her return in the latest newsletter. Meltzer says now that Becky has apparently signed a new deal, it's only a matter of time before she's back in WWE ring. That's what old Dave had to say. Quote, expect to return to Becky Lynch relatively soon. She's been trained at the Performance Center, was at the Hell in a Cell show. Lynch wasn't used at WrestleMania as first talked about, teased by her because they were waiting for her to sign a new deal, which is now in effect because they felt it was too early to debut her before she would be back wrestling. I mean, we all kind of expect her to come back in front of fans. Makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's a massive name in the world of professional wrestling. You want to generate excitement for your product, especially on the Raw side of things where not a whole lot of excitement exists. Bring Becky back.
Yeah. I'm not shocked that they didn't put her in Thunderdome. Nobody wants that. She is a big deal, and I think if you want a symbolic moment of, hey, we're back for good in front of fans, Becky could personify that perhaps. Mm-hmm. Okay, now things are back to normal. So yeah, that's cool. Not shocking. None of that's shocking.
No. We can confirm now that unfortunately Arturo Ruas, Marina Shafir, and Kurt Stallion have been released.
Again, not terribly shocking. Sad for them. Hopefully they they'll land on their feet. They're all talented people.
Again, Kurt Stallion, another guy who signed, I think, around the same time August Gray did.
Yeah.
He was on NXT Prime a couple times.
Yeah.
Let's take a break here to get a word from the sponsor of today's show, Sheath. So, Steve, I know that you're a boxer brief type guy, yes?
That is correct. I like to keep my business secure down there, but I also need some room to let those dude parts of mine breathe.
All right, well, let me tell you about these Sheath boxer briefs I got on. They're designed to keep your man bits off your legs. Ooh. See, Sheath has 3 individual compartments to keep everything down there separate and cool and comfortable. Think of it this way. I got a pair right here I can show you.
Let me see.
Sheath's got an inverted kangaroo pouch. It's right here, see?
Yeah, I do see that. Yeah.
For your Joey to keep it from sticking to your thigh. It's right here.
I definitely don't like when things get sticky down there in that area you were just showing me, because unless, of course, I intended to get sticky. You know what I mean?
I guess.
The sex.
Oh gosh, sheath's got a modern ergonomic design that's intended to prevent skin-on-skin contact for extended periods of time, which can cause heat and sweat. And when you put heat and you put sweat together, what do you get?
You get nasty funk. Nasty junk funk. It's funk that comes from your junk, and nobody likes junk funk, Larson.
Yeah, that's correct. But sheath, they prevent all that. These underwear, they prevent all that because everything here is separate. That means no smelly undercarriage, and that means you'll chafe and readjust way less.
It's like your man bits look like a fist there. So hey, if you want to keep your front area cool and comfortable, go to sheathunderwear.com/raw for 20% off your order today. That's SHEATH underwear.com/raw. Make sure to use promo code RAW at checkout.
Trust us, you'll be doing your junk a favor by going to sheathunderwear.com/raw for 20% off. Again, that's sheathunderwear.com/raw for 20% off. Here's another word from the sponsor of today's show, BetterHelp. Several years ago, while dealing with severe anxiety, I learned the importance of talking to a therapist, but also discovered that it could be extremely difficult to find the right person to talk to. Today, BetterHelp is providing a safe, private online environment where your needs will be assessed and you'll be matched with your own licensed personal therapist.
BetterHelp isn't a crisis line, nor is it self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online, all without having to ever sit in another uncomfortable waiting room.
BetterHelp is dedicated to facilitating great therapeutic matches. Send your counselor messages at any time or schedule regular weekly phone or video sessions, and they've made it free and easy to change therapists if needed.
And you don't have to limit yourself to counselors in your area. BetterHelp services are available worldwide, so you can find the expertise you need regardless of location.
We want you to start living a happier life today. As a Going In Raw listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/raw. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health.
Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/raw.
And before we get back to the show, let's get a word in from today's sponsor, Liquid Death. You know, Steve, this may look like a beer, but inside this awesome-looking tall boy can is 16.9 ounces of mountain water that's totally going to kill my thirst.
Yeah, Larson, put your thirst down like a dog. That sounds like it's water sourced directly from the river Stygian and will make your thirst rest in peace.
Well, no, Liquid Death comes directly from the Austrian Alps. It says so right here on the can, not the river Styx, Steve.
River Stygian.
And Liquid Death puts their water in a can because, unlike plastic bottles, which mostly end up in a landfill, the dump, aluminum cans are infinitely recyclable.
Infinite.
You see here. You see, plastic bottles are a money loser for recycling centers, but aluminum actually makes them a profit.
Who doesn't love money? So if you want to drop a tombstone on your thirst, go to liquiddeath.com/GIR to get a free set of cozies with your first order of any case of water.
Or go grab some at your neighborhood Whole Foods or 7-Eleven.
Drop the clerk with a tombstone and take his Liquid Death. It's very refreshing.
It is very refreshing.
Yeah. Let's talk about one talented guy and Karrion Kross.
Jeez.
Both Karrion Kross and Bronson Reed are on the list. Who is this coming from? Who is?
Oh,
this
sorry,
from?
I didn't add any notes. So of course, yeah, they were just both on Main Event recently.
Yeah.
And this is from Meltzer too, seemingly confirming what seems to be the case that both Karrion Kross and Bronson Reed will be going to the main roster. But Dave had to say, Steve, you want to take it?
He says both are on the list now for being brought up, perhaps in the draft. So they wanted everyone to see what they bring to the table from a live perspective and start coming up with ideas to debut them. This week, they were looking at Kross and Scarlet, not as a couple as they put Kross in with Benjamin at the Main Event tapings without Scarlet. There was talk of Scarlet getting a look at June 25th without him. So maybe we'll get a Main Event episode. Maybe we'll get a Main Event episode with Scarlet versus who do they even have anymore?
I don't know. Dana Brooke. I don't know.
Yeah, Nikki Cross was on Main Event for a spell, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who that would be.
I don't know either. I don't know.
So yeah, she'll have a match. That'll be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It will be. It'll be interesting to see what comes of all this and whether Scarlet stays with Kross or not, and who goes to what brand and all that kind of stuff. Or if it even happens. Of course, this could all be in the cards, and then on the eve of the draft, they could be like, Vince could be like, nah, change my mind.
Yeah.
So,
and they're cut the next day.
Or even during the draft. Yeah, who knows? So we didn't watch Impact last night. Nonetheless, it did happen. So there are results. They are as follows. Rosemary defeated Kira Hogan. Deanna Prazo defeated Susan. So that little faction they had, no more.
You see that little clip going around of Susan saying, "Professional wrestle me right now."
Great.
Professional wrestle me right now.
That was so good. Rohit Raju and Shira defeated Trey Miguel and Petey Williams. Jake Something defeated Sam Beal.
Oh, Sam, come on. We got to get Sam on a winning streak here.
We will. He's being mentored by the most professional wrestler. He'll get in the winning track in no time, Steve.
Yeah.
They announced that next week we're going to get a 6-man tag match between Team Callis, Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers versus Team D'Amore. Be Sami Callihan, Moose, and Chris Sabin.
Ooh.
And then the main event, Violent by Design, successfully retained the Impact Tag Team titles against Kojima and Ed Edwards.
Do we know who ate the pin there? Was it Ed Edwards? Probably was.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. We have a Smackdown tonight because it is in fact Friday.
It is Friday.
Your tribal chief, the head of the table, Universal Champion Roman Reigns, to hold a victory celebration. Acknowledge me. Intercontinental Champion Apollo Crews is going to go to war with Big E in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Big E's got to win that, right?
Yeah, he's got to win that.
He's got to win that.
And then Cesaro, the SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair, take on Seth Rollins and Bayley.
Oh, that's fun. That should be a lot of fun.
Give us
I like
a little bit of the vibe of the mixed match challenge.
The mixed match challenge, that's right.
Where the competitors were loose, allowed to break character a little bit. It was a lot of fun.
That's a heck of a team. That'd be a great team for mixed match challenge. Cesaro and Bianca Belair.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
So would Seth and Bayley.
A lot of fun. That'd be tons of fun.
A lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Of course, AEW is not tonight. It wasn't Wednesday. It's tomorrow, Saturday night. Hell of a main event for Dynamite on Saturday. Kenny Omega defending the AEW Championship against Jungle Boy. That's going to be a heck of a match.
Good one.
Conan and Tully Blanchard are going to have a face-to-face to amp up this FTR Santana Ortiz feud. That should be good. Hangman Page versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Dante Martin versus Matt Sydal. And Chris Statlander versus The Bunny.
Right on. Sounds like a fun episode of AEW.
Oh, gosh.
Especially that main event.
Trying to get through a whole show. Not having to hear that voice. And then you just do it at the very end.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. All right, man. We're doing this live, so we're going to answer some questions from our live chat.
Yeah.
So let's see here.
Patrick Oliva says, can we assume no more Evolve show because of some of these releases? I would think it's more likely that it would be no more 205 Live, given the names that have been released thus far.
A couple of people here in chat have suggested that instead of 205, they just do a live Talking Smack. Is Talking Smack not live? They don't do that live on the
No, it's on Saturday mornings.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that could make some sense, I guess.
Yeah.
As far as no more Evolve show, I don't know. It seems like there is a changing philosophy within WWE, because you would have thought a guy like August Gray would be, oh yeah, that makes all the sense in the world. Unless the only thing I can think of is that maybe during that big wave of them just throwing money at people left and right, guys like Kurt Stallion and August Gray might have been swept up in that and got larger than normal NXT contracts.
Oh, that could be.
I don't know, and I have nothing to base that off of other than reports that at the time, WWE was throwing tons of money at people.
Yeah.
Maybe the same applied to some higher profile indie talent.
That could. Vegan Squirrel, where do you see the Cruiserweight division going from here besides in the toilet? It's just going to be on NXT now, I doubt. There'll be much focus. outside. I don't know what the fate of 205 Live is. Who knows?
So all you really need for a division is how many people? 6 people for a division?
6 to 8.
Okay. So you got Kushida, you got Tyler, you got Rust, you got Roderick Strong, you got maybe Adonis. There's Bobby Fish, maybe. So I think Swerve's going to be higher up. I think Swerve's probably going to take that title. If Reed's coming up to the draft, Swerve's getting that title.
Yeah, you'd think
that's happening. If they're looking at, and there's still the possibility that WWE could try, if they do like a deal with New Japan. Yeah, what were you going to say?
So according to Wikipedia, the roster for 205 Live is as follows. There's Ari Sterling, Asher Hale, Grayson Waller, Ikemen Jiro, and they still have Brian Kendrick on here, even though it says on the notes he's a producer for SmackDown. So really, you're talking 4 wrestlers.
Okay, yeah. And if those guys serve as the enhancement talent for now, there's your 8 guys, and they could show up on NXT to be enhancement talent.
Yeah, you got Roddy. You could toss Oney Lorcan in there. I know he's involved in something else. Leon Ruff is still in NXT, obviously.
Yeah.
He can be involved in that. Now that Santos seems to be moving up from the cruiserweight title, you can have
Blake
Joaquin
Christian
Wilde.
and Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would guess that.
Oh no! Chat saying Killian Dain.
Wow.
Jeez. That is surprising. I mean, not to pivot too hard, but yeah, Drake Maverick is another name that could
be involved in the cruiserweight
title division.
Boy. RTG says Walter and Ilya 2 is most likely coming. Is it Ilya's time? If it's going to happen, if it's set to happen, I haven't watched NXT UK yet. If it's set to happen, then yes, it will be Ilya's time. If it's in front of fans, he's totally winning that.
Yeah, I agree with that, and it should be too. It should be. Let's see here.
Chief Frog Slat, what are the chances we get Becky versus Charlotte at SummerSlam, in your guys' opinion? I give it a 33 to 30% chance.
What is your next highest suggestion? What's your
Bayley versus Becky Lynch? Because I feel like Becky's going to be on SmackDown.
Yeah, you might be right about that, but I don't know. I would say Becky versus Charlotte. I would actually give Becky versus Charlotte a 41% chance, and Becky being on SmackDown a 51% chance versus her being on SmackDown a 49% chance.
Wow.
Because I think you still have the problem of Bianca Belair with the title, and they're not going to have Becky. They're not going to have her drop it. I mean, maybe she can drop it to Sasha, and then Becky can get it from her. But Becky's going to be in the title scene sooner than later.
At some point, yeah. Zondo. Is 205 going to get axed or changed? What kind of show is it? Maybe it gets canceled. Maybe they rebrand that as the Evolve show, the NXT for NXT show.
Yeah, that could
maybe
be.
It's live talking smack. Who knows?
Maggie says you can grant immunity to any member of the undercard to save their job. Who would you pick?
Wow.
You mentioned a name that we haven't seen in a little while, but god damn it, he's so great in the ring, and that's Leon Ruff. If we're talking about like NXT, it'd be Leon Ruff. You don't get rid of that. Although, could you imagine like if he went to Japan?
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that'd be off the charts.
That'd be off the charts.
Yeah, he's a good answer.
I'd go with Leon. Plus, he has like one of the best theme songs. They sort of stumbled into just a really great theme song.
Oh, it's a great theme.
It's
outstanding.
Yeah. MRXVG says, do you think this will become a monthly thing?
Gosh, I hope not. If it is, then they're not going to have anybody left. I'm sure this will be internally what they feel is an as needed situation where obviously they're streamlining operations for something.
It depends on what the pace of them signing new talent is and what the pace of them using new talent. What's your face?
No, Dain put a thing up on Twitter, said he got a phone call today while he was at the PC doing extra ring work that he got released.
Jeez.
Wow.
Jeez.
It's a pretty extensive statement here, so I won't go into it, but that's rough.
Rhode Island wrestling fan. It says RI wrestling fan. I assume that's Rhode Island wrestling fan. Says, do either of you collect anything wrestling or non-wrestling related? Do you collect anything?
No, I don't really collect anything anymore. I used to collect like baseball cards and stuff, but not really anymore.
I used to collect comics. I don't collect comics anymore. The only thing, I do these days. I collect Batman memorabilia. Myself and my daughter, Alabama, we've got a Batman shelf over there that we started together. And so we get like little pieces. Whenever we're out and about, if we see something Batman related, we'll pick that up. Yeah.
Jorge D says, so Goldberg is apparently going to start his own YouTube channel. Predict what kind of videos we will see on Goldberg's YouTube channel.
Oh, man. It's going to be a rebrand of MTV's Next, but it's going to be called Who's Next?
Oh, good.
He's married, so he'd be the host, and he would try to, create love connections, But whenever a young lady says, a dude comes down and he's maybe too goofy looking, she says, next, he gets speared off frame by Goldberg.
Wow, okay.
And like they come down the bus, like the stairs all nervously, like,
and then somebody wisens up to it, has a steel plate over their chest.
Yeah, they're like, please don't, please don't, please don't. And then at one point Bret Hart comes down and she's like, oh, he's like in his 80s. What the heck? Next. And then Goldberg's like, he goes and it lifts it up. It's the plate right there.
Steel plate.
And then Goldberg kicks him in the head.
Oof. Mike Bradley, do you think all these firings will have any impact in future signings? People being afraid to sign and getting let go a year later?
No, because here's the thing: if you're out there, you have confidence in your own talent, and so your thinking isn't nobody gets hired thinking they're going to get fired. They get hired thinking they're going to excel at their job because they're the best at what they do. So no, I would not think that. Now, I guess it's possible. It's possible that if word makes around that, like, there's a jerk in charge who doesn't care about your well-being, maybe, but I don't know. I've never really heard of that, so I don't think it'll have much impact on people signing with them or not.
I don't think it's going to have much of an impact on people signing with people that want to go to WWE. Still going to want to go to WWE.
Mm-hmm.
People are on the fence about where to sign. This might have some bearing along with other things. I mean, I don't think this alone could be a situation where, no, I'm not going to sign WWE there because I could be released a year later. I don't think that's the case. There's a lot of other reasons why people would be hesitant to sign to WWE.
It could play into the general idea of what the culture is like there.
Yeah, definitely.
YouTubian with the sub. Thank you, YouTubian. Says, well, this news is shit. It definitely is shit.
Yeah, it is.
Jimmy Thomas, they did 2 waves of main, 2 of NXT. Is UK next, or they paid so little that it doesn't need to be cut? It's sort of, don't they have like a legit UK TV deal over there?
I think so.
I mean, we had heard rumors of NXT UK cuts, but they never really happened. So I don't know.
Yeah, no.
Mason Rick says, are they doing this to free up money for Brock's contract? I don't know if they would have anything to do that.
I doubt that. I doubt that would have anything. But I mean, I could be wrong, but I doubt it have anything to do with it.
Night by night. You've been taken by an evil corporation that will be sending you back in time to a small Appalachian town in 1849. You'll have nothing with you but your wits and a large sack of grain. They will, however, allow you to bring along any pro wrestler of your choosing to help you survive. Who do you pick?
Small Appalachian town in 1849. Okay, that's a long time ago.
Well, we need a good survivalist. It'd be Sarah Logan. Or Ronda Rousey. I hear that she's like they live on their own. They live off the earth.
Off the land.
Yeah.
Those are fair points.
or Jackson Riker. MHJ is here.
Ugh.
I feel like he's probably a survivalist, though. He says, with the promo of Hardy, Jinder, and company complaining about not getting Money in the Bank on Raw, could they be setting up a mid-card title Money in the Bank briefcase?
No.
I don't think so, but that's a cool idea. I like that idea. That's interesting. No, I think they're just setting up that Jinder's going to be in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, that he's going to cost someone their spot. Zondo, let's say they want to rebrand the Cruiserweight Championship, something similar to the Excavation title.
That has to be an autocorrect.
That has to be. What would
X
you do
Division.
with that?
He meant to write X Division.
Yeah, auto-corrected.
Let's book the Excavation title, please.
Less about a weight class and more about a style of wrestling.
Who can find the fossil the fastest?
Oh, there you go. Well, if it's Excavation, that makes me think looking for oil.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Call it like the Wildcat title or something like that.
Oh, that's good. I like
to
that.
Call people looking for oil or Wildcatters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good.
But X Division, it'd be the NXT.
Okay, yeah.
The division.
That's good.
No, it's terrible.
X, yeah.
The next title.
This is a good point. Vegan Squirrel says, toss Jake Atlas into the Cruiserweight mix, too.
Yeah.
I've just joined. He shows up. I've just joined the fight.
I've just joined the fight for the title in this division.
Yeah. Let's see here. Interesting. White Brownie says, did you guys see Shingo's Instagram post with Mako? The UK title just looks way better than the New Japan title design-wise. It does. I don't have to see a picture. I don't have to see a picture of that.
The UK title is a beautiful, beautiful championship title.
Oh, this is a good one. Pudius Maximus says, Steve, what's your most prized comic book I own? I think I've got the first appearance of Gambit somewhere. I mean, in terms of monetary value, I think I've got X-Men 268. Pretty sure I have that comic book.
All right.
Otherwise, surprisingly, it might be Darkhawk #1. That shit's like worth $100.
Really?
It's weird. I know.
Was circulation pretty low or something like that?
Probably.
I thought the first issue of Max was kind of the same thing, where it wasn't, they didn't print 2 million of them off like they did with Youngblood.
I have that. I don't know if I have that anymore.
No, I still have that one.
Yeah. Zoe Jeremy says, can Goldberg's co-host be Riddle? No, but he's going to be one of the contestants.
Oh, that'd be great.
Nick Enigma, do these releases increase the point? The WWE can't build new stars? No, I think they do that fine with the fact that they have no big superstars. I mean, the fact that they couldn't... I mean, they're not going to be able to find space for everybody when they hoard talent.
Nope.
That's just a fact. I mean, yeah, you can take a look at... I look at Damo. You can look at Johnny. You can look at Fandango.
Johnny Curtis, yeah.
And I see 2 guys that they probably should have been able to make a lot more money with those guys.
Oh, yeah.
But beyond that, I mean, I don't know about August Gray because I saw him like once. Kurt Stallion, same.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. RTG is crazy to think that Ricochet and Adam Cole, the only ones left from that awesome ladder match for the North American Championship.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Lars, EC3. Who else was in that match?
I don't remember offhand. Flat says, which wrestler would you like to have a beer and a donut with? I ate a pancake near Sheamus, and he was lovely. A beer and a donut.
Oh, it's Damian Priest.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, hey, Steve, I'll be honest. If it was you that offered me that donut, I would have eaten it. But it was your idiot partner, Larson. I was like, whoa, that's rude.
Wow.
That's rude for one thing.
I mean, I guess I can take that.
Like, why would you even say that? Like, do you watch Going in Raw and have made that assessment? I think he's pretty smart. He's like, no, he's an idiot. Wow. That's messed up.
Probably because I said, hey, punishment. That might be why. Captain Sin with the sub. Thank you so much. All right, let's get one more in. What do you say?
Yeah, let's get one more in. Oh, okay.
Oh, Twinewinder has a list here.
Lars, EC3, Velveteen Dream, Cole, and Damo was in that match? Yeah, I guess I do remember that.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay, we'll end this one. Darth Cheeseball. Knowing what we know now about the Attitude Era, who from the current crop would excel back then and vice versa?
I think just about anybody now would excel back then. I've had the
Bray Wyatt would have done great in the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
More
Who from
freedom.
the Attitude Era would have excelled now?
Oh, vice versa.
I think a lot of them would have.
From the Attitude Era. I'm trying to think people who maybe underperformed back then would have done. Ken Shamrock might have been better off these days.
I know.
Ken Shamrock might have been better off these days.
I know. That's true. It's a good answer. Good answer.
All right. Anyways, that's going to do it for us. Oh, that's a great answer. Taka Michinoku.
Yeah,
he had a legendary career in Japan, but in WWE, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We definitely appreciate it. We'll be back tonight with our SmackDown recap.
Correct.
And we'll talk about any additional releases then if they do occur throughout the day. Thanks for watching, everybody. Till next time, we'll talk to you later.
Bye.